So, being an international student, even in 2013, 2015, 16, was already very difficult. You might be disappointed, you might break down, you might consider all your education investment to be a complete waste of time and money. For any international student, you have to understand and accept what the reality is. The reality is you don't have work experience in the US. Your resume will always go through a machine that will look for keywords.
Well, good morning. So today I have Ash with us, who comes from an entrepreneurial background, who has always been a part of decision making and has always been something that he thrives in. He is currently working at Wells Fargo, maintaining corporate risk for their biggest portfolio, which is wealth and investment management. Let's welcome Ash on 10 Minutes of High Wisdom. Hi, Ash. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Manoj?
Good. Thank you so much. So, Ash, can you tell us a little about your background and where you currently are at?
Sure. About my background, give you some context. So, just to start off, I'm born and raised in Dhaka, Bangladesh. I moved to the US in 2009. Went and did my bachelor's in Arizona State University. After my bachelor's, ended up working for a bit, and then also did my master's in business analytics over there. So, being an international student, even in 2013, 2015, 16, it was already very difficult. Since in the US, it's you have to get sponsorship. It's you don't have previous work experience, so it is a very difficult process to go through. I wish there was some help and guidelines more structured to go through it. But eventually, I was able to get some work experience. After my master's, I started off working at American Express. Worked there 2 years, did three positions there, and then worked at Access Financial in Ohio. After that, I moved to Philadelphia, and currently working at Wells Fargo. Currently working as an analytics consultant for their compliance or corporate risk positions within their biggest line of business. So that's in
Okay.
general background. Definitely have some knowledge and context in terms of helping international students gain better resources and knowledge on how to go through the job and market, and in the process.
No, thank you for sharing that. I'm an international student myself. I come from Pakistan, so I'm currently going through the whole H-1B limbo and everything. And each year, the lottery and everything, the numbers reduce. So it's definitely interesting, and I'd love to understand how you, as in like, with companies like Wells Fargo and everything, from what I know and everything, a lot of companies like these do not sponsor visas and everything. So how was your journey like to come up to work with a company that eventually sponsored your visa?
Right. So the main thing is, the you have to for any international student, you have to understand and accept what the reality is. The reality is you don't have work experience in the US, and um, mm, I guess in my days, maybe 10% of companies were willing to accept and hire international students. But I guess right now it's much more less, maybe 5% or less. And that's just an estimation. So first of all, you have to come to an agreement to that, and accept that the competition is extremely high. You might be disappointed, you might break down, you might consider all your education investment to be a complete waste of time and money. But the people who are strong, they will be able to pull through. So first of all, creating your proper mindset is very critical. Second is being able to understand the pain points in the process for an international student, and finding ways to work around them. The way I went about is, first of all, understanding where how the application process works. First of all, you apply, and then it goes through a job application process, where there's a question that if you need sponsorship or not. And then, if it's a company not looking to sponsor, they'll deny your resume right away. So one way to work around that I would suggest is just apply saying you don't need sponsorship. Hopefully, you are a STEM major, and they might be able to opening saying that you have work authorization, 1 year plus 2 years. So you would be able to work around that. Uh, if not, be able to open to applying to contract jobs to staffing agencies or recruiting agencies, which who they do not care what your immigration status is. They look if you have an EAD card or not. That's it. In that way, you are able to gain some American work experience, hopefully in your relative field, which will make you more valuable in the competitive job market. And third is hopefully be
Okay.
able to, apply asking for sponsorship and hopefully green card, and they'll, it's a company that does sponsorship, and you want to make sure and review that that company does sponsor. You can go to you can Google, there are Visa HQ or some other websites that shows that if the company has sponsored before and for what jobs. In that way, you're not wasting your time applying to hundreds of jobs that you won't get uh, any response from. Um,
Okay, thank you so much. Those three tips are very
Another
useful.
another
Ash,
big big
yeah,
big thing I want to address upon is resume writing. Your resume will always go through a machine that will look for keywords. So it's critical to make sure your resume is uh, um, relevant with a lot of keywords with relevant writing and information. So, you don't want to write something absurd, but just to fill with keywords, but you want to make your writing relevant and be able to address to the algorithm that will be looking out for the keywords. Um, One particular website that helped me a lot is www.jobscan.co. They help you show the percentage of a match of a job description versus your resume. So in that way, it will help you identify if um, your resume is not reaching or not doesn't have enough keywords for a particular job or not, or a match.
okay. No, no, that's really useful. I think because a lot of people just go and apply and use the same resume everywhere. And at the end of the day, when they get a rejection, they're like, I tried my best. What happened? So I think personalizing your resume and understanding whether there's a fit between the job and the job description itself is something that's very important. Thank you for sharing that, Ash. My next question for you, Ash, would be, how's it like working for Wells Fargo? What is your day-to-day routine like? Can you tell us a little more about that?
Right now, I am, I'm a banking title VP, analytics consultant with about, 7 to 8 years of work experience. Right now, working at Wells Fargo has been very good. I would say it is it is a good experience. I enjoy the type of analytics and work that I'm doing. Wells Fargo itself, I would say, is a bit more medium paced than many other financial or tech companies, which allows you to have a better work life balance, which I think is critical. The more you grow into your career at an earlier stage, everyone should be open to pretty busy or tough time at work, but that will help you grow quicker.
Yeah, okay. My last question for you, Ash, would be, is your team within Wells Fargo hiring? What kind of positions are open? Would love to hear
So
more about
currently,
that.
I'm an individual contributor. I don't have any direct reports to me.
Hmm.
but I do manage projects, and so it's more of a project management and data analytics, hands-on coding type of role. So in my current role, it's I don't have anyone who's hiring. I'm not hiring. I'm an individual contributor to answer to that.
Okay, thank you so much, Ash. Our time is up. It was an absolute pleasure learning about you, how you came on into the US as an international student, and how you managed to pave your way and work with some of the top companies that are growing in the US. I'm sure the tips that you provided would be really useful for international students who are currently paving their way to get their H-1B or
Sure.
EAD
If anyone
themselves.
is
Thank you so
looking
much.
to looking to reach out to me for further help, they can reach out. They can find me on LinkedIn. Ashfaqul Haq, ASHFAQUL HAQ, and someone at Wells Fargo. If you see at Wells Fargo, then that would be me.